but it was basically I didn't want to just give you, you know, answers to give them to you. I wanted to really think about them
You should.
and see how it would work best
You
to answer
should.
the question properly.
Well, that's what the mastermind is for, my brother.
Oh man, it's good, man. It's very good.
Round up. I'm here with a few members of my real estate. I mean, my YouTube and internet marketing mastermind, and we had a productive session today. And my boys wanted to actually, just frankly, just talk about how it was to interview Patrick Bet David with Valuetainment.
Oh my
And I
god.
thought it would be cool to let you guys hear what they had to ask. I thought it was cool. So go ahead, Dave. I mean, you would.
So this is something like I said. I was thinking about it since you went, and I remember when you first told me you were going, and I thought, and you had said, man, you know, I reached out to him 100 different times for over a year and blah blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, talk about, you know, being consistent and getting in there and asking, keep asking, not taking no for an answer. But then when you get the yes, you're like, oh man,
I'm like,
be careful what you wish for, because now that I got what am I really ready for this? Like, because that man is,
he's intense.
I mean, he is.
He's
I mean,
intense.
his process method is unlike anybody I've ever met before. It's intense. Just, yeah. So no matter how prepared you are, the question is, are you really prepared? Because you don't know. I mean, like, you're asking questions, and I can imagine him saying, well, you're asking it the wrong way. Ask it this way, or do it this way, or say it that way. Like, I would be like, I don't know what to do, and I don't know what to say. Just tell me what to do. Explain. Could you give me, I know I only have 45 minutes, but could you give me at least an hour to explain how to do this? I don't know what I would do. So that's why at the end of the mastermind, I asked you, can you give me just 10 minutes? I've been on my mind to ask you this for so long, because meeting that man and then knowing you're on a one-on-one with him, oh my God.
You better come with it, right?
You better bring the A game, brother.
You better bring every game. Forget the A game.
Well, you know, it's weird. You can ask my wife. I didn't sleep when they said, yeah. Let me rewind. I don't know about you guys. And round up, this is just a few members of my mastermind on my YouTube Internet Marketing Mastermind. If you want to join, I'll put the link in the video description. Round up, I went to see Patrick Bet David. We're working on the video. I've been reaching out to him for, you know, over a year, because I was trying to get him before the vault, before all that. Writing, emailing, messages, phone, emailing, phone, email, phone, for a year, dude, over a year. Talking to people, hey, we're trying to get them. So yeah, I did all that. But fine, when they say, yeah, it's almost like, to me, success is scary. I don't know about y'all. Have y'all ever been nervous and like, man, am I really prepared? Am I the guy that's going to show up to do this? Am I the right person to do this?
Well, you second guess yourself, I think, right? It's, you don't know.
When has any one of us, and we've all been successful in our own right, in our own industries, not second guess yourself?
That's true.
I think the thing for me is, like, you had David, Chris, Dan. We've all had some level of success, but when you get around, like Patrick said to you, Chris, dude, there's people that make me look like a baby, and it's like, am I ready to go to double? Am I ready to double up and go bigger? That's the thing I think that's on everybody's mind in this thing. And it's scary.
It is scary. I didn't sleep, Dave, to answer your question. When they said yes, right? You know I'm talking to Mario, right?
And Mario's not bad, but he's intense too.
He's not a slouch.
No. I mean, but listen, when he's next to when you're shadowing Patrick, everyone looks like a slouch, right?
Yeah,
but he's no slouch.
No, he's
That's
not.
What I'm saying. No, not by any means.
He's a very sharp guy.
Oh yeah,
very.
Yes,
and he's very personable, and he's personable.
Yes,
I like Tigran. Tigran's the man.
Yeah, he was cool. He was the young guy, right?
That demeanor, his demeanor is just amazing.
All those guys are like that. So when they say yes, I didn't sleep that night. You know, I'm like, damn, I'm really going to meet the Oracle, the real Oracle, the man that knows. Right? I mean, wouldn't you guys say the same thing?
Yeah. Well, we had dinner with him, but it wasn't like you one-on-one,
I Chris, not to stop you, but I do remember when we talked to him. I forget where we were. I think it might have been at the end where we were having dinner with him. And you were talking to him, and he said to you, "I know, I watch your stuff."
Yeah.
You remember that? I was like, "Oh my god!"
I'm like, you.
I would have lost all my speech right there. I would have like, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. What do I say to that? Thank you, dude. You got no time to. He's got no time to sleep, but he's got time to watch your stuff. Oh man, it's like the guy schedules his sleeping minutes.
So Chris calls me up like not the night before, but 2 nights before he's gonna go to Dallas, and he's like, "Hey, Barrero." So what's up, Chris? He goes, "You have any insight? You have any questions?" I should.
Can you help a brother?
Yeah, he did the same thing to me. He's like, "What questions you got?" I'm like, How can I get paid?
That's
Chris. I said to Chris, I remember, Chris, you probably don't remember. I said, because you were nervous. I said, Chris, I am jealous of you, and at the same time, I don't want to be you.
Right.
Because
the
intensity that I could imagine, like all the questions you could possibly ask. If he says this, I'm going to say that. But then he's not a normal person that you could anticipate his responses. So that's what probably makes it even more nerve-wracking, right? Because he's thinking 20, 30 steps ahead of you. And I got one question for you, Chris, and this is a question I really wanted to ask you when you were interviewing him. How long do you think it took him to size you up from the point that he walked in the room that you were sitting, that you were already in?
Oh yeah, I don't know you. Well, hold up, y'all. It's so much to say. Dan, don't forget you sent me these long ass questions, and then you thought about it. You're like, nah, don't do that. Don't ask those questions.
So Chris, think of it like this.
Strike that.
Chris, you know how I thought of it? I'm going to tell you how I thought about this. When
I'm going to get to what your question was.
When you told me you were going, right? This is the first thing I thought about. What would you buy somebody that has everything, right? And if they don't have it, it's only because they don't want it. But they can't have anything, right, in the world, right? So what do you buy? What do you buy someone like that, right? So now to bring it to the question is, what do you ask someone that has been asked everything? Everything. If he hasn't been asked, he's the one asking, right? So it's like, what do you ask a guy?
Where do you start? Right?
Yeah, where do you start?
Where do you start?
You see where I'm at? Like,
hold on, man. Hold on. So you got to understand, I'm talking to Chris. My dad is like talking to like, what's your brother doing? I'm like, well, he's interviewing Patrick Bet David. Who's this Patrick Bet David? And I'm like, and then I finally get Chris on the phone, and Chris is like, well, my camera crew didn't make it. I had to hire one in Dallas. Nobody's on the plane. There's COVID going on. I'm like, you're an entrepreneur. You're going to figure that shit out. You're going to figure that shit out.
That's right.
We're going to figure it out.
That's right. That's what we do.
That's what we do, right? But Dan, I guess you two. Anyway, Dan, see, you had the luxury of writing a question down and not have it, and you could actually take it back. I didn't have that luxury. I didn't have that luxury, man. So I'm like, you sent me those questions. I'm like, now you don't want me to ask them. Now you know where I'm at. Now you know where I'm at mentally.
Listen, I wrote down the question, and I was trying to do it for you. Where, like, if you answered this, you would ask that. But then I'm thinking, like,
you don't want to be whack.
No, not even that.
You don't want to be whack.
And I said, David, this is what I discussed with Chris, and this is what I sent him. And he goes, you can't ask him that. I said, why not? He goes, he just did a video on that. He's going to say, why don't you watch your video?
Exactly.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
You know,
it was rough.
So I was like, really? And then I went online and checked, and I watched the video, and I said, oh, he really did. I just didn't watch this one yet. So it was yeah. But you know what, Chris? Like I said, I was jealous of you for having that opportunity, but man, I was scared for you at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Be careful what you wish for. It may come true.
I didn't sleep the first few nights. What you say, Ronnie?
I said he did it. You know, it's your brother. I'm very proud of you because most people spend their life talking about wanting to do something. And I don't know if we got it from mom or dad or whatever, but dude, you went and did it. Like I remember talking to you right after that. Can I tell him what you told me?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay, so I called him like that night, and I'm like, "So how'd it go?" Man, I choked. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that? Well, you got to give me more information. What does that mean? Did they kick you out?
Choking so bad.
They close the camera and say, "Get out," and he's like, "Man."
The guy tells me. I remember. The guy tells me he made $950,000 in the last 2 months on YouTube. I know what I asked him. I said, Patrick, you always talk about cash being king, but you never talk about cash flow. Why is that? He goes, Chris, I made $950,000 on YouTube in the last 2 months. I'm not worried about cash flow. I just didn't have a comeback.
Like this.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Wake up, Chris. Come on, get another question.
Like, you're sitting there like, I don't even know how I'm gonna get a ticket to get home. Like,
you know what, Chris? I told you that night, you got this. You just need to get out of let the fear get within a couple of minutes, you'll start rolling. And I'm sure it worked out. I'm sure we're all going to be proud of that video.
Let's hear it, Chris. Come on. I want to hear the question.
Oh, yeah. Dan talked about sizing people up. He won't enter the room. He doesn't even enter the room unless he's introduced. Like, you don't. When you walk in the office, you know, the big-ass office, you hear his booming voice. What are we doing here? What's going on there? I talked to this person, blah, blah, blah. So he's painting the stage. He's not doing it on purpose. I mean, that's his stage. That's just if I came to see y'all. Yeah. Y'all, I was in my brother's office. It would be him, whatever. He's stomping around, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's so big. He's walking. You know, then he goes here. He talks to these people. Then he's doing a webinar. Action all the time. He walks in the room. Okay, guys, what are we doing? You got to have an answer.
Whoa.
You got to have an answer.
Whoa.
He goes, I remember you, man. You are so likable. I mean, I love this guy. Wait till it's so real to hear him say that about you, but he will size you up. And he doesn't, you know how those type of, I don't say OCD, they're like, all right, looking around. What are we doing? Oh, yeah. How you doing, Chris? He's not necessarily looking at you, but you know he's seeing what's going on, who's with you. He's like, Smitty, or you got the camera guy, huh? You work? You're from Dallas? So talking to my camera guy. Got to know everything that's going on in the room, bro.
Wow.
You're right, Dan. That is true. You talked about that a lot.
Because I spent a lot of whenever he wasn't on stage, when we were having lunch, let's say, even when he was taking pictures with people standing on line to take
he's
pictures,
looking around,
watching everybody.
He's scanning that entire room.
Same thing.
See, I grew up. My brother and I, David, grew up like that because our lives depended on it. Because we grew up working in my father's store. It wasn't the greatest neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And if you weren't watching that door and scanning that individual, you were a victim. You would become a victim.
Yeah, you're done. And you're a victim.
I watched that in him. I don't know if that's because of the way he grew up or because of his military experience. Maybe. Or when you get that big, you know, you're constantly having people who want what you got, right? Mm-hmm. But he's constantly scanning. That's why I asked you that question. Like I was telling my brother, he looked at everybody that was online going to the restaurant up on the Wolfpack restaurant.
Yeah, Wolfgang Park.
He was going up that separate that elevator while he was there with his wife and his kid and Mario and a couple other people. He was looking at everybody. I'm saying to myself, this guy's got an incredible ability to scan your body language, the way you're dressed, the way you're looking at people, your body language, everything about you, and know who you are like that in a second.
That's right.
And that's not something that's easily taught, but it's inherited. And I think he had that ability. just naturally. Did you experience that? I guess what my question is to you.
I did. Even when I'm talking to him, I was looking at some of the footage last night. It's like he's talking like, Chris, well, blah, 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 and his whole body, his legs are bouncing up, his feet are going like this, his arms are doing like this. I'm like, this guy is just up Energizer battery, dog. And and he's like, as soon as the interview's over, okay, nice knowing you. Blah, 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 blah. Mario, let's go to this. I mean, it's just non-stop.
And listen, that's what makes him successful, man. That's the difference between the guy who, is counting down the minutes to go home and have dinner.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Versus the person who's like, let's just get this done.
My brother's like, let's do it. Opposite of that. Work all day.
How tight did he keep the schedule?
Good question, dude. So I had an appointment, right, at 4. I don't remember the time. But he walked in real quick. He rearranged his schedule for us, to be frank. He said, you know what, Chris? He was about 45 minutes late to the meeting that we had. But he said, I did another webinar so I could spend some more time with you.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm honored with that. So, because, I guess he has his office set up to where he works, teaches all the 15,000 agents. He does these PHP webinars with them all. Teach them about whatever to teach, and then he comes off and goes back to work with the people that are in the office, right?
Yeah.
So he did that, and then he said, man, you could take as long as you like, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever you want.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Because initially my slot was 45 minutes.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
He moved that webinar around. I'm like, wow, I got to show up, man.
That's like hitting a gold mine, man. If he's gonna give you all that time,
Yeah.
So as you went into the interview, obviously it's like starting the first game of the World Series. You got the butterflies. By the third inning, you kind of like loosen up a little bit and you're back to yourself somewhat. I don't know if you
played in the World
Series.
Point.
No, I did.
I thought as it went on, I was going to loosen up more, but it was intense the whole way, Dave. I thought I was going to be, you sit down, first question, second question, third question. His knowledge, wisdom, and experiences are so vast. He goes, Chris, do you know why you even have an industry? Do you know why? Where did your industry come from? These single family homes. Well, I'll tell you. Wow. He goes and tell me. I'm like, you know what? I gotta sharpen my shit, dude. He's like, do you know why you even have an industry?
That's a serious question.
Why should I know? I should know this.
No, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Somebody asked you, Ronnie, do you know why the car industry is so big in America?
Let's say Henry Ford.
Well,
let me tell you, boom, in 1942,
this gives you the statistics all the way down, right?
It's not just guessing or speculation; it's facts.
Yeah,
that taught me.
Which means that he prepped himself on that.
Now you know what? He's got an unbelievable ability to remember everything he reads.
Yeah. He didn't know I was a real estate guy, Dave. He didn't know. When I told him, I said, when we're prepping for the interview, right? I go, Pat, I am a real estate guy. I just want to let you know before that. He goes, oh, really? I like this.
Oh, really?
You sure you want to go there with me? I'm like, I know you don't like real estate. So I want to challenge you a little bit. I'm a real estate guy. You're not. I want to know why. So we went over that for a good 10 minutes. I figured, Dave, you guys would like that.
Wow.
My God.
Hey, Birch.
Yeah.
Birch, let me tell you something. Not to leave you out of this conversation, but you seriously need to go meet this guy.
Yeah.
It is.
Chris and I already talked. We were end of January talking about booking to go to Florida, this July.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is truly. So, you go to a lot of these conferences, right? And so whoever it is, let's just use Patrick as an example. You go up there and, that guy will come on in the beginning. Then you get 3 or 4 sales pitch. He comes on at the end and rah.
Yeah.
This guy spent 9 hours a day.
No, he was more than that because he would start at 9 in the morning and at 9 at night.
Yeah, and one of them ended at 10.
And his voice went out. Remember? His voice went out.
That's right.
Yeah. But my point is, dude, this guy is standing on stage the whole time. Sold you nothing. gave you what you came for, which was information. I mean, he gave you homework.
Education.
We were sitting there. We
invaluable.
And I'm telling you, we all talked about it because he's like, these people in the front, the CEOs that were ahead of us, right? And he's like, hold on. I'm here for everybody. You, come on up. The people in the back, remember that? Remember that? Yeah. He's like, I'm here for everybody, not just you.
The guys all the way in the back with the cheaper tickets got the same education. I mean, we got more access to the guest speakers that he had, the interviewers or the people he was interviewing, or
we were going to have dinner with them, but
because of the tickets we had. But the educational part was the same whether you were sitting in the front or the back.
Phenomenal. And that being their first conference, it was seamless.
Yeah,
it was seamless.
Yeah, and like the 50th.
I mean, you remember when the sound was going out a little bit? He cut everything off. He said, "Stop it right now. If you want, we'll have them leave. But these people are not going to be here listening to sound like that. So do your job." I was like, and he did not hold back. Yeah. But you know what? They got it fixed, and they got it fixed like that.
Yeah. You know what? I've even gone so far. I'm trying to even get my barber to go to this thing.
It's worth it, man.
It is life changing. It really is.
Yeah, if you're an entrepreneur, it's definitely well worth the money that you spent.
Yeah.
If you're an entrepreneur and you don't come out of there energized and gassed up to do business, then go hang up whatever you're doing and go get a day job working for the city or something, because you have no business being in the business.
I was just telling my landscaper. My landscaper's not the typical landscaper. Man, he owns tons of property. He owns commercial property, residential property, and he still maintains his landscaping company. His name is Paul, and we were talking about the Vault conference coming up in July. And what I was explaining to him was, when I left the Vault conference in April of last year, I felt like I was in the office being sent out to preach the word of entrepreneurship. Exactly how I felt leaving that conference. And I got to tell you, I don't get influenced easily. And you guys know me already enough to know that. I've always got my guard up, thinking, someone's trying to game me. But I came out of that conference not only energized, zone again, and I wanted to pass that knowledge on to other young or starting investors or entrepreneurs as a result of that conference. He did a great job.
There was something that was really cool about that conference, was that everybody that was there had the same mindset. Regardless whether you came from China, you come from Europe, you come from the United States, and there was literally people from around the entire world, in different levels of entrepreneurship. There were literally people making $20 million a year, and there were people making $50,000 a year. I mean, that was the level of it. But everybody had the same mindset. Everybody, even afterwards, they would sit down, chat it up. Where'd you come from? What do you do? Everybody was just, it was just awesome. But
nice. That's all you got for me, Dave? What else you got? That's it.
Listen, the best part of that whole conference was we got to meet Ronnie and Chris.
That's true. And you know what? I forget who I was talking to. I think I was talking to you, Chris. I was telling how it was actually in Patrick's office. We were sitting there. We were having some hors d'oeuvres or what have you. I look over to Chris, and he's got that jacket that says, "We buy houses." I go to my brother.
Bold yellow letters all over his back.
I go to my brother. I'm like, "Look at this guy." I'm like, that's cool. That's like, dude, that's like a walking billboard. I mean, that is cool. My brother says, "You know what? Let's go talk to that guy." They started talking to Chris.
I said, "Yo, I love your coat, man."
You guys realize that after that conference, I came back and immediately implement the strategy quadrant. And I've been in business 20 years. I had the biggest month, like 4 months after that I've ever had in my life, because of the stuff and I'm talking about just about doubled in a month.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the entire office. I actually bought
well, listen, let me tell you something. You see this book right here? It sits right here, right next to me.
You gotta have it. You gotta have that book.
It's right here. It's right here.
There you go.
It's right here.
You gotta have
And let me tell you, like, I bought the sales training. Like, so what happened? I was there. It was $200 for Patrick's sales training, and I'm like, I'll take that. We'll email it to you later. And so then Mario or Kai emailed me like a few months ago, and every week my team goes through that training. It's videos, it's homework, PDFs. Yeah. It's like, it's crazy, dude. Like, you know, you've been in sales 20 years and you think you know it all, and it's like, no,
nope,
I don't know it all.
When we left that conference, you realize, like,
I'm a baby.
Everything I thought I was doing right was like half right.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, and Chris, you'll vouch for this. I came back with a plan, not as much to make the business bigger, but to make it more lean and more efficient. And we've increased our net profits after taxes by 35%.
Nice.
Wow.
In addition to streamline things where I actually now have time to do things that are now going to increase the business the business revenue as far as growth is concerned, as a result of me making things more efficient on the back end this past year.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely well worth the money we spent, without a doubt.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris, you tell me, what did you come back with? Because, you know, David and I, and Ronnie sold
that's what I was going to ask you next, actually. What's the biggest thing you got out of that? I mean, you're talking to a guy that charges, you know, $200,000 to speak. Yeah. If he goes outside of the country, that's his ticket. $200,000 for an hour to speak.
Wow.
That is crazy.
I know his consultation fee is $75,000.
Yeah.
But the biggest shit, man. I'm trying to think, what did I coming home? I have to stay. I learned that the man is so full. You know what? Okay, one thing I was thinking was, this is not going to be me. I'm not going to be the guy that's boom, 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 20 hours a day, you know? I don't think he sees his family a lot.
I mean, how could he?
I asked him how many hours he sleeps in a night. He said he only sleeps 4 hours. And I just, you know, I'm like, do I want that? I don't know. I just don't know if I'm going to be that guy. You know, I'm like, I enjoy hanging out with my wife.
That's okay.
And it's okay. You know, I'm like, I want to have a family and I want to see my children grow up and spend time. I think he's so grindstone. Because remember when I told you he was like, oh, go ahead.
I can't see how he could. How does a guy like that, like, you don't have time to turn off. Like, no, you have to be on 24 hours because, like, even if I go on vacation, I used to try and go like on 4 or 5 day vacation. I can't do that because it takes me 3 or 4 days just to
get back on,
just let go. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
So on the 4th day, it's like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then it's like, gotta go home. Like, what are you talking about? I just got here. No, you've been here for 4 days, but your mind hasn't. So how does a guy like that turn off? How do you do that?
I asked him that. Question. I did ask him that though.
David and Daniel, that's the thing that us. So we're grinders. We've been grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding, and so that's the answer I'm seeking. It's like, how do I not duplicate myself? I think that's impossible. But Patrick has systems, tools, and people.
He does.
He can go out. I've seen him in Monaco. I see him on wherever he's at, and the business is still running. You know,
but he's still grinding while he's there.
And he's got his finger on the pulse. Yeah, he's got his finger on the pulse the whole time, but he's got Mario and he's got people that are running it. And it's like, that's where I'm missing out. You know, I need leadership development.
Ronnie, I got a piece of advice for you I gave my brother. And my brother could tell you this. In the last 10 years, I've changed a lot.
Have you?
If you look at the way Chris has described Patrick and David, my brother will tell you that's me. That was me. And and my line, David, like my mind never stopped in regards to the business. But the more I went on vacation, because I went 9 years without taking a day off.
Yeah.
One day, not even a holiday. My brother vouched for that. But now, as I got older, the more I realized how much I missed with my first two kids, and with the same wife, of course, we have. Then my second two kids, I feel guilty because I didn't take that time out for my first two. But if I had, I wouldn't have been able to provide them the life that they currently have. Having said that, what I've realized is I take 2 vacations with my family. My kids are adults now, but we still go on vacation together.
Yeah, you said that. You guys, you go places. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I find is that the more I've done it, like we go to this one place in Cape Cod every year in August. As soon as I park that car, my brother will only hear from me early in the morning or late at night before I go to dinner. And my brother will vouch for that. Either I call him early in the morning, what's going on? Do I need to know anything? And if I need to know anything, I take care of it at that same point. But by 9 o'clock, I'm off the phone.
Good for you.
Good.
So having said that, the more you do it, you have to learn how to relax.
Yeah.
But when you're at the level that Patrick's at, I don't know if you could truly relax, man.
Well, I asked him, how do you
what was his answer to that one?
He's like, don't ask me. Ask Mario. He's like, what do I ask Mario? He goes, sex, man. I mean, we have sex, and some of the stuff we said. That's what he said.
He don't have time. When you're at that level, man, you got so many moving components.
Yeah, but even sex is written down. Okay, honey, 9 o'clock, 9:25 on Friday, and you got 10 minutes. because I got a 9:45 meeting, and I need 5 minutes to get dressed. So hurry up.
Yeah.
Hey Mario, warm her up for me. What do you do?
What do you do?
Listen,
I don't want to know.
We're starting at 9:10, and you're starting at 9. You get in, start at 9. I'll be in at 9:10. You ready? Let's go.
Wow.
That is terrible,
Right?
man.
I mean, how do you do that?
Yeah, again, he's an incredible person, and I think it was a great opportunity for you, if for nothing else, Chris, for that experience. But I'm sure you did wonderful. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
We're very proud of you.
No doubt in my mind that you tanked it, that you didn't tank this. I know you did great, and I'm sure you were nervous because of his statue as far as wealth and accomplishment. Plus, he's a very big man as far as, he's a muscular man. And he's very confident, right?
He's big, confident. But I mean, dude, talking to him, I realized, I'm like, I don't read enough. I don't research enough. I don't know enough about my history. I mean, he's pulling things from, how he gets down. Things from different businesses. Well, do you know why that is? Okay, well, let me tell you about what happened here. And this disease, well, this isn't new. And just going so deep and expanding on any topic.
Yeah,
even the art of asking questions. Now I'm a better question asker, as opposed to asking somebody right now. Okay, what would you do if you were 28? You got this. If you had X amount of dollars, what would you do then? So now he's like, man, don't ask me questions about now. You need to ask me questions about what I would do when I was 28.
Wow,
it's just different.
Were there any specific questions that? Well, I should say a question. Was there an answer to any one of your specific questions that you said to yourself, like that gave you that wow moment, like that enlightenment moment?
Yeah, I think I discussed that with y'all on the YouTube and Internet Marketing Mastermind. He has a worker that gives him 70 to 80 topics for his videos. And he says, Chris, I just go through them. He's got this piece of paper. He goes, okay, we're going to do that one. We'll do that one. We'll do this one. Okay, guys, let's go. Go to the board. And he starts writing on this board. He's got this big blackboard, and he's got this one dude, Kai. Y'all met Kai. Y'all heard of Kai?
Yeah. He's from New Zealand.
It's New Zealand. He's like, I got Kai. He goes, he has all these topics. So he has somebody else researching him. Yeah, research. So when he shows up, he just He goes, Chris, I just do like this. Okay, we'll do these topics here. And then he has a research team. Okay, can you tell me about this? Tell me what happened in 1942 when President da. Then they'll bring it back to him, and he can put that data in.
Yeah. Nice.
So essentially, let me see if I understand this. They do the research, but he analyzes it and then comes up with his own definition or what the causes and results were as a result of the research.
I think he said as he's putting it together, obviously he has his own stuff, but he has somebody else do all the research for him. Yeah, he's not out researching anything.
And he's just spitting it out as it's coming to his mind. There's no rehearsing and.
Oh no, man! That stuff. When I was there, right when the COVID thing was dropping, right? Mario came in. He's like, "Okay, we got." I don't know if y'all saw the one with the military people, the military guys. It's like an admiral. Oh,
what's going on now? Yeah.
The lieutenant or somebody, a general, or somebody that came in. So he's got somebody out there just recruiting, trying to get whatever topic these people they're bringing people in. I don't know how the hell are they flying them there. I didn't ask them that, but they're coming in.
Did you ask him how he gets the people to interview with him?
How he gets his people?
Yes. How does he get the individuals to actually agree to interview with him?
Yeah, I didn't get that one I missed.
You know what, David? At this level, I don't think it takes much effort. When he first started, I'm sure it took a lot of effort.
Yeah, but at the same time, Dan, when you think about it, they're gonna look. I should have asked that one. They're gonna look and see who he is, what he does, and try to figure out how do they fit together, right?
Yeah.
Because his interviews, I mean, he goes from a mobster to an Olympian. You know what I mean? It's like one to the other. I mean, yeah, it all has to do with business and entrepreneurship, but it's like really just broad. Which
I should have called you. I missed that one, man. But at least I did get how he puts his videos together. I can't remember the whole story. It took every question was like 10-minute answers.
Wow.
Chris, I can clarify a little bit there.
Oh, good. Yeah, Smitty was there right with us.
Yeah, and sorry for joining late. I had to switch computers. I forgot that my MacBook doesn't support StreamYard. But so Patrick said one thing that was pretty key. His father told Patrick that you never let somebody make you feel like you don't belong at the table. So Patrick stepped up his game. It was a growing process, but he stepped up his game so that he is at a level with the highest players, and he has earned the right to be at that table. That was one of the things that he specifically said.
Smitty.
And one of the things that I told Chris right after the interview, I told Chris before the interview, the way Chris got is he asked, because a mutual friend of Chris and mine, when Chris had Ron LeGrand on, she asked, she's like, how did Chris get Pop on? I said, he asked. That's how Chris got to go to Dallas and interview Patrick. He asked. And when Chris finished, I said, you know what you just did, Chris? You did exactly what Patrick did with Ray Dalio, one of the wealthiest men in the world. Patrick he asked, and he went on location. And if you look at that interview, Ray Dalio is dressed very casually, and Patrick is in a suit.
Yeah, that's the one that is out by the water, I think. Right? He's on like a little table.
Yeah, it was up in Connecticut, where Ray lives. And
you did say that.
And Chris, it was total role reversal. Patrick was in his sweatsuit like usual. Chris was in a suit, and Patrick actually complimented Chris that he looked like $10 million.
Nice.
And, which helped Chris too. So I heard you.
I'm in there in a suit. I'm like, let's do this. I'm gonna suit my suit down to the T, brand new. He rolls up.
At the end of the day, what Smitty just described is that you were the only guy at dance who went to ask the prettiest girl to dance.
Dude, Chris, your father is also very proud of you. Even though he doesn't know what's going on. I got on the phone and explained it to him.
Really?
Dad, you have no idea what's going on. And he's like, and you know how Dad is. What you mean I don't know what's going on? I know how to spell his name. And so Dad's in there trying to type his name, on his track phone. And well, okay. I'm proud of him. I'm like, okay, Dad.
Wow. Really? My dad has never said that to me.
He's proud of yourself. I mean, it's just amazing.
Listen, I told Chris that night that he was going. I said, Chris, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud to know somebody who's got the balls to go and ask and get an interview. Remember that, Chris?
Chris brought all this together. He called me about the vault and said, "Will you go with this to me? Go to this with me." My brother has never called me and asked me to go anything with him. It's like we separated at birth. It's like I've been gone and whatever. But and then Chris was like, "Man, we cannot sit in the back." And I was looking at the prices and I was like,
$5,000.
Can't sit in the back. I'm like, I can see in the back. And then, but I never regretted it. It changed my life. We're all sitting here with our books.
Oh yeah.
And because of that little guy right there, Christopher, who by the way has a baby due this month.
Woo!
So I would round up family praying during the COVID that everything goes good for my little nephew. That's gonna happen.
Oh,
this is cool.
It's gotta go that way. No options on that one.
Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me.
It's all about taking the chance, Chris. I mean, Chris just proved that point.
Fabulous.
Yeah, the risk
Chris,
is.
I can't wait to see it.
You won't have any regret. The biggest regrets I ever had is the regrets for not having taken certain risks.
Mr.
Right?
What you didn't do.
It's nice to meet you. Yeah. All of you guys and David and you guys, man. I remember the moment we saw each other and we're drinking them waters. I was like, can we have another water? Is anybody? Nobody gonna say nothing. Get another water.
They had those little sandwiches like this big.
The Perrier's and all that stuff. Yeah.
But I don't know what it was, but the four of us just hit it.
It was instant. Yeah.
Then we had the interview with Chris at that same night. I think we hung out.
Yeah. That's the one I think he saw. I don't know what he saw.
Listen, guys, I don't know if you remember the farmers, the guy who's his father's a farmer.
Oh,
he just
yeah.
got houses from down south.
Some houses,
Mm-hmm.
So I just got a call from him about a month ago, and he was like, "Man, I just got to tell you, your content is really helping me. I shared that with my partners." And he called me and asked me a couple of simple questions about the business, and that he hoped to be there again in July. But what a innocent, down to earth person he was.
Yeah.
Am I right? Was I wrong? He was really a good kid, and I was just proud to be in his presence because he was in his early 20s, mid 20s, and he was taking that risk. Right, he was out there buying the property, fixing it himself, and we met a lot of young entrepreneurs that
players.
What about the kid from his father was a professor, doctorate professor?
The young kid.
Oh, the kid. Yeah, he's on Instagram with me now. I remember that guy. Yeah,
Cameron.
And he had netted $160,000 after taxes.
He actually made more money than his father did.
Yeah,
he paid for his father to go.
What about the dude from Dubai? The kid from Dubai with the suit on?
19.
Yeah,
yep, 19
yeah, he's like, Ronnie,
yeah.
come on over to Dubai. It's cheap right now. I'm like, it's. I'm like, all right, man.
Listen, we met a lot of interesting people. Again, it was a great conference. I recommend it for anybody. But the point of this conversation was about Chris, and we didn't even give Chris a chance to talk much.
I'm just listening, man.
We're just praising you, Chris. That's what we're doing. Just praising you, bro.
Praise Chris. You brought this all together, my brother.
Yeah.
We are. I'm honored. We're getting back to the thing, success. Like, do I want to do this? There comes a point in a man's life where you either sink or swim. And I think being an entrepreneur, we've already made the decision to swim.
Yeah.
Right. So then you have a chance. I'm like, I'm going to meet Patrick, David, it's weird. Like you tell somebody, they be like, Patrick, who the hell is that? Right?
I know. Don't you get offended? You're like, what? You don't know?
What is wrong with you? Dude,
I can't talk to you no more. Never mind.
you know what? I'm defriending you.
I'm done. I'm finished.
I don't think Smitty knew. Did you know Smitty? Did you know him?
You introduced me to him last year, and I've been busy with so much stuff. I hadn't looked at any of his stuff until a couple days before we went to Dallas. So no, I didn't know who he was. I mean, I knew who he was, but I didn't really know his content. And sitting in that interview, I really learned the breadth of his knowledge.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And
were you watching him?
No, I learned about him from Chris's YouTube channel last year when he went to the conference.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing was, my brother was mentioning earlier too. My camera guy canceled the day, like 2 days before. I didn't have Dave. You asking me how was it going? I'm like, I paid for everybody to go, like my team to go to Dallas. Camera guy didn't want to go. He was nervous about the COVID. Cool. Had to hire another camera guy. We get there. Everybody's scared. Hotel's empty. His office is on lockdown. So it was the whole experience. We got it all on camera, Dave.
I do remember seeing part of that. You were saying like we got a whole plane for ourselves. Smitty was on the other side. You were on the other side.
Yeah, man.
I followed you the whole time. You got to the airport. You're like, look, there's nobody here.
Me and David and Dan were at home going, go get him, Chris.
Go get him.
Just an honor,
power, kid. Go do it.
As soon as Chris told me, I was like, Chris, you're the man. You got to do this, man. You know. But I can imagine the fear factor.
As soon as you told me,
entrepreneur, man, especially when you're getting to that next level, right? It's breaking through that next glass ceiling.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I tell people is you got to get over the fear factor, and it's okay to be scared, but it's not okay to let your fear hold you back.
Yeah.
You know what? That's one of the things Patrick did has on one of his interviews as well, or one of his skits. It says, if you're going to set a goal, make sure you set an impossible goal.
Yeah.
And when you reach that impossible goal, set another impossible goal, because the impossible is no longer impossible.
Yeah.
I love it.
Wow. That's nice. All right, man. Let me get to dinner, y'all.
Hey, me too. My wife is coming in.
Can I see my nieces? Can I see my nieces? Hey, Bubba.
Oh, no.
Can I see my niece?
Bubba's the one I'm most impressed with. The way she mimics him.
Yeah.
She's got a man.
These kids are crazy.
She's got his movements, his eye contact, his facial expressions. She's awesome.
Hey,
Bubba.
Hi, Morgan.
Hey, what up?
Hi.
What's going on, girl?
How you doing? Taylor, you want to say what up?
Taylor, Father today for us. Do the hand movements that he does.
How you do me? How you do me? Well, today I know one thing.
Not today, no performance today.
I guess not. No. All right, gentlemen.
Love you, bro.
Chris.
All right, man.
Love y'all. I'll see y'all next time.
Hey, Chris, people are asking when the interview is going to come out. You got a relative time frame?
Yeah. By the end of April. I will tell you, I didn't know that the video, each one is 50 gig. I thought it was 5 gig. It was 50 gig. He recorded it in 4K.
Wow.
So I got 3 of those. There's 150 gig for it's just crazy.
Priceless. Priceless.
Yep.
Can't wait.
All right, bro.
You guys.
Chris, Smith,